Hi, everyone. Welcome to another session of UTSC Life Skills. I'm Professor Amanda Ulizik, and I'm here today to talk to you about two related concepts: focus and attention. Now, I'd like to try something with you right off the bat, a little exercise in attention and focus. So, you're going to see a countdown, and when the timer goes off, all I want you to do is simply focus and pay attention to the screen. Let's begin. All right, all done. Now, were you like, what was that? Did you find lots of thoughts popping up in your head? Did you feel bored? Did you try to maybe avoid the task and fast forward? All you were told was focus on the screen, one very simple thing. But if you're anything like me, I'm sure that your brain was moving really fast and you were thinking of things. You were trying to guess or look for something or trying to see what happens next. So, really, your attention moved from just focusing on the screen to searching through to figure out what's happening next, which is really, really common for all of us humans. So, what is attention exactly? Why did your attention go in just 30 seconds, move all over the place to lots of different focal points? Well, think of your attention like the beam of a flashlight. It's your ability to illuminate one particular aspect of your environment. So let's think of an example. Imagine your professor is lecturing and your goal is to pay attention or to focus on your professor. So, how do you get this done? Well, we shine our beam of light, our flashlight, our attention flashlight on that object where we want to focus. But there's lots of other things going on, and we need to ignore non-relevant things that are happening in our environment. So there's lots of things that are always competing for our attention. Maybe there's physical things like hearing people behind you talking or the smell of coffee. Maybe you're hungry or you're sleepy. Maybe you're thinking about a test you have tomorrow or that you really don't understand this material. You might even, be scrolling on your phone at the same time or doing other kind of work on your computer. So how do you remain focused and attentive so that all those other things fade away and that you can really focus on your professor? Well, that is what we're talking about today, is how to build that skill. So think of, again, your attention like a flashlight that allows you to choose an object in your environment while ignoring or minimizing all the other things going on. Focus is almost like a high level version of that. When you are focused or when you decide to focus on something, you are able to take the object in your attention, like your professor, and you're able to notice the details of that object, to understand that object, to make meaningful connections. So we might really want to work on our attention and as well our focus, because this can improve our memory and recall. And that's what we need when we're learning in an academic environment. But also imagine, let's imagine your friend is talking to you. If you're able to shine your attention flashlight on her and then really focus on what she's saying, you end up being able to express empathy and act more interpersonally skillful. This helps you build relationships. This can also be applied to our own thoughts. we might be having lots going on in our minds. We might be having thoughts that maybe make us feel scared. We might be having thoughts that make us feel angry or sad. And all these different things are popping up in our head. Well, our attention flashlight can help us to focus on a specific emotion and make us feel more calm. It can also help us move our focus to emotions that sometimes don't feel that great or thoughts that are making us nervous or scared. And when we bring focus to those, we can understand what's going on and we can problem solve. So, not only can we feel more calm if that's where we're putting our focus or our attention flashlight, but we can also problem solve when things aren't going our way. So, overall, attention and focus help us with really three different things that span across our goals in our life. So, that's to concentrate and learn better, to improve our relationships, and also to help us solve problems and stay calm. So, how does this work? So, think of your brain working your attention and focus muscles. These are skills that need to be practiced and trained and strengthened. So, if you wanted to be an excellent pianist or soccer player or artist, you would practice, practice, practice. So, again, the more that you work those muscles and skills, the stronger you get. And attention and focus is no different. You have to actually practice focusing. You have to practice moving your attention flashlight to what you want in order to strengthen those muscles and help it feel easier to focus. So, what might this look like? Imagine you're in class again and you're trying to pay attention and focus on your professor so you can learn. But there's all these different distractions. There's these different things in your internal environment. So, things like thoughts about not understanding or thoughts about feeling hungry. And there's things in your external environment like people talking or your phone. So, how do we again get our attention flashlight out and really focus on our professor? So, that's what we do. We say, okay, we're going to sit down. I'm looking at her. I got my flashlight on her. And now I'm going to focus on the material. But what can happen a minute later? Your attention starts to change. So, maybe you feel that attention flashlight start shifting. And then you are now focused on all the other things going on in your class. And maybe you eventually find yourself, even though you didn't do it on purpose and you didn't really realize, but you're now focused on the people talking instead. What do you do? Well, you have to do um, 4 specific things to practice moving your attention and to practice improving those skills. You need to, number 1, choose where you want your focus and attention to go. You've already chosen that. You want to focus on your professor so you can learn the material, get a good grade. 2, you have to be able to notice when your focus has changed. You have to kind of say to yourself, "Oh, I'm not paying attention anymore," or "Oh, my flashlight has moved." 3, you have to gently move your attention back. And the reason the word gently is in there is because it's not meant to rip your attention away and refocus in a harsh and fast manner. We are gentle with ourselves because changing attention is natural. Our brains are so complicated and fast moving. We're always taking in an immense amount of information in order to stay safe and to plan and to function in the world. So it makes sense that your brain is jumping around from thing to thing. So we're gentle with it. We notice and then we slowly and kindly move our attention back to our original point of focus. The fourth thing is that you have to do this again and again and again. It doesn't, once you decide to move your attention, it doesn't stay that way forever. We have to keep working on it. So, yes, still again and again and again. So, how does this work? Well, we notice we're focused on the friends and people talking, and we move that focus back to our professor in a gentle way. And then we do it again and it gets a little quicker. We're a little bit better at it. And then we might do it another time and we get a little bit better at it every time. Because remember, every time we notice, we gently move and we repeat, we are showing our brain that this is what our goals are. And our brain muscle is the muscles of attention are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And this doesn't just apply to that single situation with your professor. The more you do this, it applies to all types of situations in your life. Whenever you practice, even if it takes 2 seconds to do it, whenever you notice your attention has shifted, you refocus and then you repeat. You are making it easier for you to do this in all contexts of your life. So again, we're going to keep doing this over and over and over whenever we notice. So, how do we practice? Let's just review. First, we're going to choose a focal point, whether this is a professor, the person in front of you, the sound of my voice, anything that you have decided your attention flashlight should be pointed to. Then you're going to notice when your focus has moved from that. You have to be able to notice when it's changed. It may take 2 seconds for you to notice, or maybe you've zoned out and it's 10 minutes later. That's okay. Any time is better than nothing. 3, you're going to gently return to your focal point where you decided your flashlight should be. And then you are going to repeat, repeat, and repeat. And repeat. So there's 2 really good ways to do this because you may be like, well, I want to practice, but what should I focus on? I'm really not sure where to shine my flashlight. And there's really 2 suggestions that we have for you today in this video. One, anything in the present moment is a perfect time to practice. So this could be any of your 5 senses, or it could be even the thoughts going on in your mind. And so anything going on right now for you, you can decide to focus on and practice improving your attentional targets. If that is confusing or there's nothing that you want to be doing exactly or nothing you want to focus on within yourself or your 5 senses, maybe you're in an uncomfortable position or you're not feeling great or there's not a great environment for you in the present moment, the second place you can always do something you're all doing right now is your breathing. So you just need to breathe. You can focus on that. You don't need to do deep breaths. You don't need to close your eyes. You don't need to sit cross-legged on the floor for hours. It's not about hours of meditation. You're just noticing your gentle, uninhibited breath that you're doing right now. So what might this look like, this breathing space? Well, again, we're going to do our 4 points. Here they are again. We're choosing our focal point, which is our breath. So when we focus on our breath, maybe we're focusing on our nostrils, maybe we're focusing on our belly, maybe we're focusing on the back of our throat, wherever you notice the breath. You're going to decide, okay, for 1 minute, I'm going to focus on the breath coming in and out of my nostrils. Now, whenever you notice you're thinking about anything else, or you're now focusing on a different part of your body, or you're focused on something in your environment, your attention flashlight has moved, you're going to gently return to your breath. And then you're going to do that every time you noticed. Okay, so we're going to try this for 1 minute. So now I've warned you that I want you to pay attention to your breath, choose your focal point, and you're going to practice this for 1 minute. Congratulations. If you did that, your brain is stronger. Your attention muscles have been strengthened. How many times did you have to refocus? Did you think about being thirsty? Did you think about how you have assignment due tomorrow? Did you think about what the weather's going to be like, what you're going to do with your friends later today? Or did you hear something that diverted your attention? Did you smell something that diverted your attention? Hopefully, you were able to return to your breath and strengthen those muscles. Maybe you're like, I didn't. I lost focus in 5 seconds and I never returned. That's okay. That means you've actually done the first step at least, and you are ready to practice more and more and more. So the assignment or the ask or the goal this week is to practice 1 minute breathing 3 times per day. You can do this every time you eat. You can do this every time you sit down for a lecture. You can do this every time you're on the bus, but whenever you can, incorporate this into your life. And please also try to shine that attention flashlight on places that require your focus and practice this as much as you can. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and good luck with brightening and focusing your attention flashlight. I'm Dr. Amanda Ulizik from the University of Toronto. Thank you all, and be well.